Hello, welcome to The View from the EBRD. We are in London for the 25th annual meeting of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. And I'm here with Stefanie Linhardt, the Bankers Europe editor. Stefanie, we've been attending both days of the event. This is the second and final day. And I know you've been very busy speaking to a lot of your senior contacts, including Ukraine's new finance minister, Alexander Daniluk. I know that the finance minister also attended a panel discussion earlier today about investment opportunities and outlook for Ukraine. How did that discussion go?
It was very interesting. There was so many people, the whole room. It was one of the biggest rooms actually for events here at the meeting, and it was packed, only standing room available. It was him speaking, and it was also the central bank governor speaking, and they were trying to make sure that investors do know that they're trying to tackle corruption, they're trying to improve the banking sector. That's sort of what they were trying to bring across. And
I'm sure that investors were just salivating at the potential vote of privatizations taking place in Ukraine. Now, Ukraine, an interesting market, but also a difficult market. In fact, UniCredit has agreed to sell its local operations. You've also spoken to the head of CE for UniCredit, Carlo Vivaldi. What did he say?
Yeah, so Carlo was saying that UniCredit is only planning to withdraw from Ukraine. This is obviously agreed, as you say. He's planning to stay in Russia, even though Russia, some people would say, is also a very difficult market. He's planning to grow obviously organically, if possible, across the region. 13 countries still remaining if you take out Ukraine. UniCredit also had their own investment session where they were talking about lending in CEE, and in that they were saying that in 2017 they actually expect across the region, their region, all countries to have GDP growth, which would very much help the banking sector.
So the EBRD's own forecast for this year is for an average growth of 1.5% for the whole of this year, which isn't too much. And so hopefully UniCredit seems to be a little bit more optimistic about the following years. Now, there have been a lot of other sessions and obviously a lot of other countries represented here. What are the other highlights from this year's event for you?
Other highlights, this year obviously was 25 years, you said. It was also a year where the incumbent president was standing for re-election. He had a challenger in Marek Belka. However, Marek Belka didn't win. Marek Belka, an interesting candidate because he is the Polish central bank governor, current but outgoing central bank governor. And he would have been the first president of the EBRD who would have been from a country of operations rather than a donor country. But Suma Chakrabarti, the previous president, has had an enormous majority of around 90% in terms of the votes and has been re-elected.
So he's been re-elected.
For another 4 years.
So we are obviously in London for this meeting of the EBRD. Next year it will take place in Cyprus. So we're moving from overcast London to possibly and likely sunny Cyprus. What do you think we should expect from that event?
Hopefully sunny Cyprus. Everyone's looking forward to the sun after this year's rain. It's going to be interesting. The EBRD is planning to hold the meeting across the north and the south of the island, which could mean that you have to cross a border with your passport, which will be very interesting to see how that's going to be organised. It could happen, though, that the country is actually unified by then, because there are talks taking place between the finance ministers, at least, between the two countries. We will have to see.
So another eventful gathering for the EBRD. Thank you, Stefanie.